And welcome to another episode of DIOTALK. I'm Dio. Let's talk. I want you guys to give a warm welcome to King Nito.
Thank you, Dio, for having me on the podcast. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for joining me, man. How the hell are you?
Good, man. I'm just building, man. I'm a new father. Things going on.
Congrats.
Yes, thank you, man. I see you're a father as well. So Congratulations on being. That's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Yes.
I'm learning that every single day now. So
I feel that, man. I feel that. How if you don't mind me asking, how old or how many months?
She's 8 months. Gonna be 9 months.
Wow.
The end of this month.
The first one?
Yeah, it's my first one.
That's beautiful.
I'm 36. I was 30. Yeah, 30. Yeah, I was 35 when I had her. So yeah, started a little late, but
it's good. Hey.
Yeah.
It's good.
I have brothers, man. One had his kids at 19. The other one had him at 40. And I was like, I'm gonna just go somewhere in the middle somewhere.
That's great, man. God bless.
Yeah.
So what's up? But I see you got your new logo, your gaming. What's going on, man?
Yeah, I'm sitting home. I believe deep in my heart, I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always been in sales type of mindset. And I've been building things. But the one flaw of mine has been gaming. I love gaming. I like gaming. I like it distracts me sometimes. And with this new world of technology that we're in, man, I just looked at it one day and we went over to my fiance's grandmother's house. I saw a costume crown at the house. There was a king crown hanging on the coat rack. And I was like, that's it. I'm just King Nito. Like, I was always Nito wasted. That was my thing. I went by that name. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm King Nito. That's it. I'm going to make King Nito a gaming phenomenon. I'm going to just get wild with this.
Yeah.
And, now I have a different outlook too with having a daughter. I want to be home more. I want to, I live in Philadelphia, not the safest city in America,
Facts. Yeah.
So, people get killed for just going to the gas station in this world now.
I feel that, bro.
So it's like, hey, let me use my brain, let me use my hustle and create something that's real. And as I'm learning more about it, it's crazy, man. Like, I never realized all these people that you see on Twitch and YouTube, all of them are actually legit businesses. Like, all of them are either an LLC or an INC. They're all incorporated. It's a tax deductible write-off as well. I mean, if you're really pursuing it.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was just digging, staying up to 3 o'clock in the morning, reading articles when I got work at 8 in the morning, once I start thinking about something, that's how I usually get. I usually get obsessed with it. And I think that's a good thing. I learned that from some people can say, hey, you got to balance it. But yeah, you do. But we're young. I still believe we're young. I know you're in your 30s, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm 36. I mean, I still believe we're young. We're only getting
younger. We're still young. Listen,
so
the 30s is the new 20s, right?
We can hustle in our 30s, man. And I'm just like, listen, I stay up late now. So I can rest later,
No, I feel that.
But yeah. So I took a lot of what I learned from the business.
Yeah,
I'm in sales. I've been in sales for about 8-9 years. I wish I got into it much younger, but I discovered it later on, and been in sales for about 8-9 years, and I learned a lot. And now I'm infusing that with my gaming love. So.
What type of sales you're in?
Right now, it's business to business. I'm in the tire industry. So we work in the tire industry, sell tires to mechanic shops, even some of the big vendors. We do commercial accounts as well, but I'm more of like a residential, smaller accounts, smaller business, which, later on, as let's see how long I'm in this industry. I want to be in it as long as I can, if I can capitalize.
100%, yeah.
But I want to also build my own business at the same time. So, but I can see it going into commercial. I was always a big solar supporter. I actually connected with you through one of my customers. I used to sell Jeeps at Riemann Toll. So shout out to Nick Espinoza,
Shout out to Nick, my
215.
man. There you go.
He came in and got a Durango from me a while back.
But you sold him Durango?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
He loves that truck.
Yeah. Now it had a bullet hole in it. I don't know if he saw that in when it came, but it was a nice truck. It was a nice truck. They got it from an auction. They didn't even know. The dealership didn't know.
Wow.
And then when we had it in the cleaning in the bay, I was like, yo, there's a freaking bullet hole on this thing.
It's a discount, I can imagine, right?
Yeah. No, he got it at a good price. I was young in the car sales at that time too. But one thing he actually put me onto was stocks. I was already looking into some stocks, and he told me to buy Ethereum. Ethereum was only like $58 a share at the time. And I'm like, I was like, it's going up. It kept going up a little bit, right? It kept going up. And I'm like, I'm gonna wait till it drops back down again. Mm-hmm. But at that point, it was just already on the incline. Like he was like, bro, you got to get it now. I called him like a week later. I'm like, it's $120. He's like, buy it. I'm like, I'm gonna just wait till it gets in the 2 digits again. Never happened. But slowly but shortly, we got one Ethereum. Me and my fiance bought one. Didn't make as big of a profit as we could have because we bought it late in pieces. We bought it like in pieces, but yeah, he's very keen to the
he's very intellectual. I love that. I love that about him. The stocks is a tricky thing. Like it's just like I own a couple of stocks, not as much as I would want to, because I'm a like I go down the rabbit hole sometimes. Like I have to find something that's like just got in that's very low, so I could buy large quantities of it. But it's just there's so much information out there that sometimes you just get lost.
Yeah,
and it's really and it was crazy. It's that it's so much information out there that's hard to find what you're trying to invest in.
Yeah,
at least for me.
No, it is. I'm in the same boat. I'm not invested in many of them. Like they do say, don't put your eggs in all in one basket. But I'm a firm believer of Doge. I think it's going to come back eventually. I think it's coming back, man. Just because like you can sit on something crypto. I mean, Bitcoin was horribly low, man. That was another opportunity I had. Somebody on Facebook came to me, reached out to me. I was looking for groups that were like, I was trying to get into like entrepreneurial mindset, and I found some different groups. And this guy started pitching crypto Bitcoin to me. It was $500 a coin at the time. He was like, bro, you don't understand how serious this is going to be. He's like, you should buy it right now. And I had the money. I was investing. I ended up investing into a multi-level marketing group that I never made any money with. So I should have bought the coin, but like 3 months later, it ended up going up to like 26K.
Wow.
Yeah. So those are 2 events that I missed out on. I'm sitting on my Doge. I'm a firm holder, man. I got diamond hands on it.
I got some Doge. I got some Doge. Not a lot, but I got some.
Yeah.
We'll see with that because it's like I'm not gonna say I'm not a firm believer in like especially crypto. It's just like there's a lot of shit going on around, and where like people are getting apprehended because a lot of what do you call those? Like what's the fucking name? They're getting caught like for fraud.
Yeah.
A lot, especially famous people on it. So like it's still up in the air for me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
I mean,
sit down on that hill.
If you can buy a basketball ticket with Dogecoin, and you can buy from hundreds of stores online, they know something ahead of time. Just like 50 Cent accepted Bitcoin for his album sales on Curtis before Bitcoin was anything. You know what I mean?
But Curtis didn't make that much money.
No, he kept. But I don't know how long he kept them for. But if he kept those ones from the Curtis albums, I mean. Those, but Bitcoin at that time was like what?
Yeah,
it was in like cents,
It
you
was,
know?
yeah. But the thing about that is, if you start creating your own network, right? You take 10
Yeah.
people, take 5 or 10 people, and you exchange, right, within you guys,
Mhm.
it becomes valuable. And then
Yeah.
now slowly you get one, another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. So you get 100, and
Yeah.
start changing, sharing Bitcoin or whatever cryptocurrency. You start creating your own organization within cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, if let's say a cars dealer, because you're in sales, right,
Yeah.
started his own thing of cryptocurrency, right? He's been doing that for years now. So he created essentially his own demographic. So
Mhm.
something slowly you gotta upbuild.
Yeah.
But still, I don't trust nothing I can't touch.
No, I hear you. I mean, sometimes we just got to be optimistic as you know, in and sometimes you lose. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you do lose. Everybody that wins, like that has won big, has lost a lot. You know what I mean?
Yes, facts.
So I'm not I've made $1,000 investments where I've lost, and like I just shake it off. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm not rich, but I know that's what it takes in order for me to get where I want to get. So it's like I'm
100%.
very
Yes.
optimistic about it. Where I'm just like, all right, well, I took that out, and I'll learn from it. I don't look at it like an L, because if it's $1,000 and it taught me something, where I'm trying to go, $1,000 isn't going to do much for me anyway. So that $1,000 just taught me something more valuable, and I think it's worth more than that thousand. You know?
I feel that's definitely less than you going to a college
Yeah,
and paying a tuition for a bunch of classes you don't really need.
yeah. But yeah, listen, I almost went to. I was almost in that trap. I got in trouble, right? And when I was young, I was 19. I got caught with half pound of weed or something like that, and
Mm.
you know, dumb shit, little shit. Back then, weed wasn't so widely accepted as it is now. I know your state is a big supporter of
Yeah, even
Mary Jane now. Yeah.
yeah.
So
And
like
what crazy is like New Jersey is a difficult state.
yeah,
It's a
yeah. When
difficult
it comes to
state.
other laws and stuff, you guys are tough on certain things, and then yeah. But I got into a law firm at the time. My brother got me in the mailroom of the law firm because he had past trouble too when he was younger, and then he went and he became a paralegal as he got older, and he was like, "Listen, man, I'll get you in the mailroom, see what you want to do there." So I started making a salary like what they teach you out of school, and I'm like, I was making like, this is back in early 2000s. I mean, I was making like what 30K, and I thought it was a lot. Like I never heard, I mean, I'm like, all right, I'm making 30K, and then I'm seeing every year you only get like a $900 raise and $800 raise, and I'm like, what the like? I'm like, what the fuck is $800 if I break it up over 52 weeks? Like, what is that? You know what I mean? Like, what am I really?
After and before taxes is a big
Yeah,
difference.
like what's going on here? I was like, is this the trap that I'm in? And then all the older people that I was working with were like, look, man, I've been doing this shit for 40 years. They were like, do something, man. Don't do this. And I didn't want to be a lawyer. I could have went to school to be a lawyer if I wanted to. Like that, the firm would have paid for it, but I just didn't see myself being a lawyer. I was always like an artsy person, so I was making music at the time. I always liked making music. I used to rap a lot. Me and two of my boys from high school used to make mixtapes and stuff. We got in the studios, and yeah, shout out, well, since we're talking about that, shout out to the Hit Room NYC. It's a studio in Ridgewood, Queens, right on the borderline of Bushwick, Brooklyn, and Ridgewood, Queens. He's a diamond in the rough. He's an engineer, producer, Rezon. Guy's very clean, man, and he only charges like $25 an hour. It's crazy what he
Wow.
does for you. You know what I mean? It's he's got great clientele. I mean, I know back in the day he had like Max B was there, Fabulous was there before he got like in trouble and stuff like that. He had some celebrities pop up every once in a while, but Yeah, man, he's got a strong customer base. But if anyone is looking at this and is in music, definitely holla out the Hit Room Studio NYC if you're in that area.
Boom.
But yeah, I started getting connected with like the lawyers. So then I started looking at the lawyers in a different light. I was like, let me see if I can get connected with them because they had a lot of famous clients. Like J-Lo was a client, 50 Cent was a client. And I got cool with one of the partners, one of the lawyers there, and I gave him a mixtape. I gave him a CD. I was on a few mixtapes. I was actually on a Who Kid mixtape back in the day too, when Who Kid was big. And I had one of my friends call me from Florida. He bought my CD down in Florida. He was like, "Yo, you want a mixtape, bro?" And I was out there, you know, Times Square selling mixtapes, selling cigarettes too. Yeah. But you know, I got connected, and I was 23 years old, man. I got connected with a representative from Universal Music Group, and they offered me an internship at Universal, but I had to go out to Cali with no job, no money. And I was like too ego, like I was young. I was like really cocky at the time. I'm like, nah, I ain't no ghostwriter. I'm the star. I'm gonna do this on my own. I don't need that, you know. And I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't know anything about business. I was very blind to all that. I just liked making music. Get me in the studio. I liked making music, but I was very ignorant to what everything else is. Nowadays, these young kids, they know everything. They got their name trademark. They got everything set up. You know, the internet is taken over and made everyone an entrepreneur. If you really want to be one, it's all there for you to access. You know,
100%.
And yeah, so like that wasn't working out. I was there 5 years, man. Time was flying by, and I was like getting these little raises, and I was like, I need to make something of myself. People don't even say hi to me, and like I say hi to everybody in the hallway. Some people just ignore me in the hallway. I'm like, I wasn't like that. Like I always was like, I like being embraced. I like embracing others too. You know what I'm saying? So like in school, I was always hanging out with everybody. I was cool with everyone. And I was just like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna go get some recognition. And I started getting into sales. And like my first three sales jobs, I got fired for not performing because I was like trash at it. And but I was always told, oh, you got the gift of gab, you'll be a great salesman. You'll be a great, you know, now that I look back, I could actually probably been a great lawyer too. I was like, but I just wasn't into law like that. And I was like, all right, so let me go in here. I would spend half my day in the mall hollering at girls, oh, I'm a salesman. You know what I mean? Like trying, like I was in my young 20s being a fool, you know? And I thought I was the big shot salesman before I even put the effort in. So what I started doing is I picked up books, I started reading, I started self-educating. I started reading real estate tycoons, like guys that made from nothing to something, you know. Grant Cardone, you know, Napoleon Hill, As a Man Thinketh, you know, started reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, things like that. And started learning more. I'm big on stoicism. I don't know if you know much about stoicism.
Never heard of it.
It's like the writings of Marcus Aurelius. You know, like it's just owning your world, what you are in control of, like everything in your brain, everything that you can shape. Don't try to control things that are outside of your control. Try to control your reaction to them, or try to control. And a lot of leaders and, you know, people in high places have read these books and embodied stoicism to help them achieve what they want in life. So I started reading a lot of Stoic books. It helped me keep my blood pressure low, helps you keep calm in tough situations, helps you be that eye in the storm when you need to be. And next thing you know, man, I went from pointing at the top sales guy and saying, oh, he's got better leads, he's got this, he's getting set up by the boss, to actually becoming one of the top sales guys. You know, I started doing door-to-door sales, and I started killing it. And I was making $2-3 grand a week, like commission only job. And I was just busting my ass, man, working 80 hours a week, 90 hours a week, knocking doors, man. Just like that taught me a lot, man. That taught me a whole lot about life, rejection, not to take rejection personal. You know, you
Mhm.
never know why people are going to reject you. Sometimes people reject you because they had a bad day or something happened to them.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
you know,
It's you have to like, how do I say it? It's like a passing. Is like a passing through life, right?
yeah,
You have to get so many no's before you get a yes.
yeah, yeah. The
You know,
law of averages.
yeah, you gotta practice and perfect your craft, right?
Mm,
Um, sales sa- sales is not that difficult. You gotta know what your product is. You got to be
yeah,
educated, you know, on your product.
and you got to believe it too. Yeah, that's
Exactly. You know
yeah,
how many types of different waters there is,
yeah.
right? It's all the same shit,
Mm-hmm,
but it's how you sell it, not how you present it, right?
mm-hmm,
If you have a shitty presentation, nobody wants to invest in that.
yeah,
It's like look at all right, look at Jordan sneakers versus New Balance.
yeah,
New Balance are super fucking comfortable,
yeah, yeah.
right? But nobody wants to wear New Balance. You know why?
I know they're like the quote unquote dad shoe, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I like them though.
I was rocking New Balance even before I was a dad,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right? But like and they're more cheaper and more affordable, right?
yeah,
Get you where it needs to go, but nobody wants that.
yeah,
Now people want Jordans. You know why? 6 rings, MVPs.
yeah,
It's what they're selling. They're not selling you an average an average image. They're selling
yeah,
you you want to be great, then you gotta wear what the great wears, right? Some shit like that.
yeah. But what
Um
comes with that great presentation and
mhm.
that great viral behavior also brings some crazy stuff. I mean, people. I remember hearing people were killing each other in line over Jordans.
Yeah,
That's crazy, you know.
yeah. I used
Like,
to work in over here where I live at. There's a Newport Mall. It was I think it was like the day before Christmas, like eight has to be like 8 9 years ago. Um and I used to work security mall security and
yeah,
I went one day just to just walk around. I was bored, and there was a stabbing for some Jordans.
yeah. I
Blood was
know.
everywhere. I think one guy tried to defend himself with his belt. It was crazy.
Wow, man. I
But
mean, that's even with the Tickle Me Elmos back in the day too. People were robbing each other over the Tickle Me Elmos.
it's
It's that viral behavior, man. It's
yeah.
like
It's
when
we be you get an object is only worth unless you give it meaning.
yeah,
If you don't give it meaning, it's just an object. That's it.
yeah. I'm deep on this stuff, man. We start talking this stuff, I get real conspiracy theory type dude on you, man. But you know what? A lot of that stuff has a lot of truth to it, man. Because listen, it's a mockery, bro. We have Thanksgiving, right? We have Thanksgiving, and then the day after Thanksgiving, they set us up with Black Friday, and everybody go out to get shit that we don't need.
Yeah.
When we're supposed to be grateful, right? Yesterday we were grateful for what we have, and then the next day we're trampling over each other for TVs and shit.
Facts. And the things are not even like on sale. What they
Yeah,
do is if it's $100, they'll change it to $9.99.
yeah,
What catches more your attention, $9.99
yeah,
or $100, right?
yeah,
So like, I mean, it's marketing.
yeah,
The marketing does his job or it does his work, as one
yeah,
would say, right?
yeah.
But yet
And then
again,
when you look into the term
mm,
conspiracy, right? Conspiracy theory. Like I was digging, they said that was created by the CIA to like discredit anybody that was like digging into like some truthful things, like truthful findings, awakening the public to certain events that, let's call it what it is, left wing media and just political media wants to keep you blind to, you know?
mhm,
And it's like, oh, that person's a conspiracy theorist.
yeah,
Somebody call you a conspiracy theorist and they don't even know what the hell a conspiracy. Like, why are you calling me a conspiracy theorist? Do you know why you calling me that? Like,
because it's because
you
we
know?
live in a society and where all we want to do is put labels on you.
Yeah,
We don't want to
crazy.
be we don't want to be called out on our own bullshit. We want to
Yeah,
label you or something, right? And
yeah,
that just goes back to like the Mandela
Mandela effect.
Effect, right? That
Yeah.
like it happens with like the show Sex in the City. I think it was like Sex and the City. Now they have like Sex in the something like that.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah, like a spinoff or something, right?
no, like the name changed. It used to be Sex, I think, and the City, and now it's like Sex in the City. Like
Oh, okay, for the new
throughout
one, yeah.
yeah, throughout the years, they changed their name. They changed the name, and you can't even find it.
Yeah. Yes. Oh man, it's deep. There's a lot of stuff out there, man.
I mean, but
But
talk to me about this King Nato. What does it mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So Nito was
Nito.
something
I'm here saying it in Spanish. My
that I
bad,
kept
dog.
from. Yeah, yeah. No, no. My father is from Guatemala, and my mother she's an American girl. She's Irish and German, but she's from Queens. She's from New York. They met the diner where they met because they worked together. My dad was a cook. My mom was a waitress. We used to, I think they just shut it down. It's in Astoria. I wanted to take them there for their anniversary, like because like they that's a hardcore marriage, bro. They stuck through some things that nowadays people hit the road and flee, you know, and they made it
Facts.
work, and they're living a good life now. So I'm happy for them. Shout out to mom and pops, yeah.
Shout out to them.
But nah, man, yeah, it's Nito is nothing is the obstacle, man. It was like a saying that I made up, and nothing is the obstacle. I just kept myself with this, as people would say, unbelievable mindset, like this big mindset, like like I really truly believe, and it's not just for myself. I believe it for all of us, but if someone doesn't believe in it for themselves, then it's not gonna happen. But I believe in people more than they believe in themselves sometimes. You know what I mean? And I'm big on that for myself too. So like it's nothing is the obstacle. I believe I could do anything I set my mind to. You know, if you give me if I can shut this brain off and really hone it in and focus on something for 6 to 8 months, I'm gonna become perfectionist at it. I'm gonna try to become the best that I can be at it. I'm gonna try to not competing. Like, see, the way that I look at it, they always tell you, like, look at the other guy and compete with him. Like, nah, if you focus on what you're doing, you're just gonna be that focused and that deep into what you're doing. The production will show for itself, and you won't have to worry about competing with no one else because you're gonna look around and you're just gonna beat it. And that's what I
100%
used to do
facts.
with
Yeah.
that's what I used to do with sales, man. Like guys used to want to do, yo, let's compete, let's see who got the most sales for the day, and I'm just like, I used to, do that Kobe thing, man. Shut it off. I'm like, nah, bro, y'all can do that. Y'all cut each other's tie. Like at the end of the day, my tie ain't getting cut. That's all I'm saying. I said, I ain't gonna beat you. I'm not saying I'm gonna beat you, but all I know is you ain't cutting my tie at the end of the day. And I focus on my sales. And next thing you know, I got, oh, Jordan got 7 sales today. He got 8 sales today. He. So like I always just kept that mindset of like, let me just focus on what I'm doing, stay hard on it, and that developed with me and my father. We used to go to Taekwondo together. And I seen that you go to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. That's dope, man. We took Taekwondo, and there was times when I wanted to quit. I was young. I want to go hang out with my friends, and my dad talked me through it. And he was like, "Listen, man." He's like, "Papa, you're gonna really, really love it when you have that black belt, man." He's like, "Wait till you see yourself in the mirror with that black belt," And I was like, yo, he's right, and we stuck with it, and we did it for like 8 years, and we got our black belts together. And
Nice.
yeah, it was fun, man. I wish I stayed at it though. I was really, really good, man. I used to be able to do the Danielson. I used to be able to kick my leg straight up in the air, bro. Like I hold my leg there, and I could be standing straight up holding my leg there. And I was too young for like the Junior Olympics or anything like that. I was like 12 or 13 when I got my black belt. I was like 13, I think. They were like, yo, keep going. Like my Sabam Nim, which is like your sensei in Korean, he would tell me like, yo, you just keep going, man. You're gonna be really good at this. And I fell off. But I always still trained myself. Like I still know the repetition. So like when I get into these workout moments as I'm getting older, I'm getting into them more because I'm like, yo, we need to really tune these bodies up, man.
Yes,
So
yes.
um but I go over my repetitions. I want to do that with my daughter. I want my daughter to get her black belt. I think that'll be big. But I did take
Motivation right there. Yeah.
yeah. I took Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for a little bit as well. I took 8 months of that because this guy Eloy, he was a guy from Brazil. He was a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well. So he used to tell me and my father, like on the low, like, because in class you can't be talking about that. But he'd be like, yo, you coming to my house, I'll teach you guys Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you know? And we started hanging out with him, going to his house and learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Little guy, man, but dude was the tough as nails, man. I mean, he had to be like 5'6", 5'7", little Brazilian guy, but could take down, I'm pretty sure anybody. I was a kid, but I'm sure he could take down guys a lot bigger than him. And he taught us a lot of stuff, man. He taught us a lot. Then I even went into Aikido for a little bit. Wasn't a big fan of Aikido.
What's Aikido? I'm not. What is that? I've never heard of it.
Yeah, Aikido is the Steven Seagal one, the one that yeah. So it's like a war. It's like a war martial arts. So like when people are rushing you, like a lot of people, you use their force against them. Kind of a little bit of kung fu. In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they do it too.
Yeah.
Where you kind of use their force against them, you move out of the way and maneuver. But I do want to go back to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Judo, either one of those, Judo or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because it's good to know more grappling. It's like Taekwondo is great for striking. It teaches you a lot of striking. But as we all know from watching UFC and MMA, most fights end up on the ground. Most fights, even the toughest strikers look like babies on the floor if a wrestler gets them on the floor, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, I like the best combination is like I think it's like Greco-Roman wrestling, jiu-jitsu. Then you gotta know how to defend yourself, strike. So boxing, it's like it has to be boxing and
Wing Chun or like Muay Thai.
Because it teaches you how to use your legs and how to use your hands.
Yeah.
So you want to be an effective fighter, and how to knows how to use your legs, but also strike.
Yeah.
And those, like, for me, those, like, just that combination is perfect.
Yeah. The one that Bruce Lee was coming up with was, I mean, you can still learn it in certain areas, like, but it's not as widespread as the other ones. But like the Jiu-Jitsu, that's like the Wing Chun, but it's also mixed with, like, I think it's Judo. Don't quote me on it, but it's Wing Chun, and he incorporates some type of grappling with it. But yeah, that was a good arc too. That we lost Bruce Lee too young. We didn't learn as much from him as we could have.
Yeah. I mean, I know I joined jiu-jitsu because it's for my mental, honestly.
Yeah,
like,
it does teach you a lot.
Discipline, and for my mental, because it's, when you grow up, dealing with a lot of traumas and not knowing, how to heal from them, right?
Yeah.
And as you get older, you feel like, you live a life knowing that, like, it's, you just brush it off. But as you get older, sooner or later, it just, like, starts to come out of your pores.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm a dad, right? Like, I can't be spacing or snapping for no reason. I gotta always be the best image I can be, so I can set the example, right? And it's it's hell, bro. It's hell.
Yeah.
But, like, it's in a crazy form. I feel comfortable in that hell.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like rolling. It feels safe for me, although it appears to be chaotic.
Yeah.
But, like, like I said, when you grow up in a chaotic atmosphere, right?
Yeah.
That becomes normal.
Yeah.
Like, you go up in Philly, which is like, they call it the state of brotherly love, but it's not really, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, when you grow up in that atmosphere, you think everything's okay. That's normal to you.
Yeah, I grew up right on the borderline of Queens in Long Island and Queens in New York. And It's called Elmont. It's like where the Belmont Stakes are. It's like one of the biggest like horse races that they ever have. But it's right next to Queens Village and Hollis in Jamaica. It's like right on the border there. And when I was growing up over there, man, it's like I had a lot of old, my siblings were much older than me. I'm the only child between my mother and father. And I grew up in like a violent type of atmosphere. And that was normal. That's what I expected from men as I got older. Like I just expected like we puffed up, like what's up? Like I know at any minute hands can fly, So like I was like a young, I wasn't a bully. I always looked out for kids that got bullied. I like if I saw someone getting bullied, I'd be like, yo, try that on me. You know what I mean? Like that, like that's the type of like person I was. I go looking for it because I was so used to being around it. But then I noticed, man, it's just that there's no healing in that because, and then where the discipline came in from the Taekwondo too, they taught me a lot of stuff about, being a bigger person, walking away and learning from that because, like you said, being a father, you have to be the right image. And as I got older, God bless my fiance, she calms me down. Me, I've been in relationships when we were both fire. Me and my ex, we were like, she's not a bad person.
It's growth, man. It's growth, and sometimes you outgrow people.
Yeah, she's not a bad person. She just we didn't mesh well, and a lot of passion, a lot of good times, but a lot of bad times too.
Yeah, so, no, it's you outgrow people. You got to go through those unfortunate events to learn about yourself, right? And learn how to overcome those things, right? Like, and it's all learning. It's all a learning curve because you're not the same person you were yesterday.
No, you don't have to be, man. That's a lot of things, but that's a fault in our behavior in humans. Like some people just think it is being real to stay in your negative attributes, is being real to stay loyal to something that's hurting you. You know what I mean? You're not really hurting others, but you're really hurting yourself the most because that's the person that has to go through it all the time. You could hurt somebody and they can leave you and never be around you again. So you're not really hurting the outside. You really hurting hurting the inside.
Correct. I was just watching this interview with Benny Siegels, right? And he was saying I think he was on Drink Champs, and he was saying like basically saying he when he was a Rockefeller, he was going bats for them. That was a family. But then when he got into like the trial, he was like, yeah, everybody spoke nice about me and whatnot, they said good things about me. But then like when it came to like he was saying that they were about to let him go. So I guess the judge asked like who's taking responsibility for him? Like who can we go up and select where he's at? Where's they want somebody to supervise him. And everybody said no. And he said that hit him the most because here he was going for bats for people, and at the end when he really needed them, nobody wanted to take accountability for him. And which is like I understand both views because here you're going crazy. I get you're going 100% for me, but then you're going wild, right?
Yeah. Because somebody can go 100% for you, but then be a total red flag to themselves.
Yeah.
And
correct.
To people around them,
And then like I understand, like the other people view as well, because like this motherfucker's crazy. Like you're asking me to that's it me holding accountable for him. Like it's gonna set everything I'm doing in backward rather than forward.
Yeah.
Right. And it's probably gonna show a whole commotion.
Yeah.
So like it was something it was ever something that it's for me realization in my life, right?
Yeah.
The best thing you can do, like once you start putting like, how do I explain this? Like once you stop being so self-involved in yourself as a person, and each time you walk out your door, you portray this kindness. You got to set an example everywhere you go. That's how you set yourself that, be a valuable person, a person of credibility, right?
Yeah.
Your life is going to be better,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Than if you sit, and thinking you have to be the center of attention of everybody.
Yeah.
People are going to start slowly despising you as a person.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's one thing that it always comes back to sales, man. Sales taught me so much, even just about human interaction too. And it's like you see so many different types of personalities of people, and you start learning that there's profiles that everyone kind of fits into, but each profile, everyone has their own individuality too, but there are like certain, you can see the agitated people, you can tell the ones that don't trust things, there's people that kind of are like the gatekeepers. Like you learn who is who, and then you can kind of narrow it down, but then each person you have to individually like listen to. Like people think being a great salesman is like talking and knowing everything, and it's really not. It's being able to discover what that person is looking for, what the interest, to listen, and listening is such a great attribute if you can really learn how to master listening, because we all do it sometimes where we're just excited and we know what we want to say, and it's like, oh, we got to hold on to that. But it's like if you can really sit back and listen to somebody, you can kind of see the river much clearer. You can kind of get that bird's eye view of which way you got to maneuver and maneuver through the road ahead.
Yeah, definitely. Before I started my own business and open shop, doing everything I'm doing, I used to be an operation manager, and I was in sales all the time.
Yeah.
You had different, like you said, you had different variety of people. Sometimes all I had to do was take people out to eat. Company pay for everything, take them out. They wanted to get drunk, they wanted to eat. Boom. Next day, I got to sign a contract.
Yeah.
Some people I had to sit there and show them what we do, give them a walkthrough, give them a taste. Know about the product I'm selling.
Yeah.
Right. But also like if you can make somebody feel they need it, like it goes back to like the Wolf of Wall Street, right?
Yeah.
There's a great scene, like the famous scene, like sell me this pen.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, the guy was like, give me that paper. Let me sign this. Oh, I don't have a pen.
Yeah. Yeah. Demand.
Yeah. So
Supply
like
demand.
you need a pen. You want to sign that paper, you need a pen.
Yeah.
So it's the passion, man. You want to make money, it's your hustle goes as far as you go.
Yeah. That's one thing, like with sales, I always admired when I started learning about it too, is like there's always going to be a demand for that, because it's not a job. Once you become really good at it and a professional at it, it's always a job that's going to be available. You're going to have job security. If you need a job, it's going to be there for you, because that the company knows that you're capable of achieving a goal for them. So everything starts with sales. Like people want to discredit it and say, oh, salesmen are this, salesmen are sneaky. A really good salesman doesn't have to be sneaky. You know what I mean? You can be thoroughly like honest with somebody, and they can respect that if you know how to word it. There's a way to be assertive without being aggressive. Sometimes people think you got to be aggressive, and it's like you're turning people off when you're being too aggressive. There's a way to be assertive where people take you seriously, but you're also being honest with them and getting a point across, and they trust you. Once somebody sees that you're being honest with them, they kind of like trust you and let their guard down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean it's all about how much money you want to spend as a consumer.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Some people they they get mad at salespersons because they bought something and they know they shouldn't have bought it.
Mm.
But once again, instead of taking accountability for themselves,
Yeah.
they're trying to the salesperson's part.
Yeah.
They sold me this.
Yeah, everyone wants the bells and whistles, and then when they see it on the paper, and they're like, "Oh, I thought I could get it for like $200 cheap." Well, oh yeah, well let me break this down for you, Mister and Mrs. Jones. Let me show you why you can't get it for $200 cheaper. Because if I gave it to you for this, I'll go there and I would write it down. I'd be like, this is how much gross profit we're actually going to make. The company's only going to make $300 on this car. Now the company has to pay my manager, has to pay me, and has to keep the lights on in here, and has to keep us in these these nice outfits and give us business cards. So how do you think that I'm going to be able to sell it to you for that price? I was like, I might as well work at Wawa. I'm not at Wawa, am I? I was like, I'm here to sell you a car. And some people would be shocked that I say stuff like that. I'd be like, but then they hear me and they're like, you know what? He's right, because he's being transparent with me. He's not lying to me. And he's showing me the whole cards. I'm putting everything on the table. Don't you think the experience of me checking up on you every 6 months to make sure your experience is okay, don't you think I'm worth more than that? And it's a process, just like selling a house, just like selling a house too. Yeah. Like, everybody wants
selling a house. It all depends on the buyer, honestly, what type of person they are.
Yeah.
You can't. When I go on these seminars, right, and I join, his name is Sekou Pyle. He has this thing called the appointment canopy. It's like one time a month, a whole week crash course, lead generation, practicing script reading. How, like, a new agent could definitely go there to learn everything, right?
Yeah.
And when I'm joining, like, breaks them up, us in the groups, and I tell them all the time, is like, you can't go trying to make a quick dollar. It's not how it works. Because these are relationships. You have to build relationships, right?
Yeah.
That may right now not make sense, but in real estate, it's not you can't make money quick.
Yeah.
Everything you make is down the line.
Yeah.
And it's basically essentially an investment. When you invest now, it's what you're going to see in the future. So you want to make relationships. Like, you can't go and see this house and you think it's the best house for them. No, you got to think about it as a family aspect. You got to always put your best interest for your client first than yourself.
Instead of trying to get the signature quick and close it out. Because 3 months down the road, you're going to deal with problems. You're not thinking of the retention, we used to say, like the retention of your customer base. I would turn down sales because I would know, like, there was nowhere to go. And the only way I could close the sale is if I fabricated something, which would always come to light anyway. So that's not what I'm going to do. I would watch other guys do it all the time, and it would always come back and bite them.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that, man. Like, I'd rather have somebody walk away. If I want a retentive customer. I want somebody that's going to refer people to me. That's going to, hey, my cousin wants this. Yeah. I got this guy,
100%. You want to, also is always educating your client. You always have to educate your client. You got to be really personal with them. You got to get down. You got to talk. A lot of people don't know, and they take advantage.
Do you know much about these NFTs?
No, honestly.
Yeah, me either, man. And it kind of ties into like the video gaming, because like we're there with it, and NFTs, man, are like this amazing future that's like inevitably happening every day. I mean, from what I'm reading, it's like these 18-year-old kids buying these images, and they're like minting them. I don't know, I looked up the term minting, and it's like kind of like watermarking, or it's like trademarking it somehow.
Yeah,
they buy it for like 200, and then they sell it for like 20 G's, like within a day or two.
I don't. Someone told me that it's like you have to give something in order to get something in return, some shit like that. But yet again, how do you know you own it?
Yeah.
How do you know you own it? And you're telling me it's an image that can't be duplicated, but yet everybody could buy it.
It's like it has its own built-in trademarking and patent. I don't know. Yeah, like it's like something. But I mean, if people are spending that much money on them, it has to be. It has to be legit. I mean, if you look at some of these celebrities, they're spending like 80K on these Bored Apes or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
come on, like what? Like,
but that's a write-off. That's a
yeah,
write-off. That's not art.
yeah.
That's not essential art. You know, you get what I'm saying?
Back to that, but since you brought that up, write-offs. When you were talking before about taking clients out to eat, and you're like, your company paid for it, they don't even pay for that shit. At the end of the year, they write that off and they get it back too. So every time you buying a client something and you buttering them up and you bring them some donuts or whatever, that's all tax write-off.
Yeah, I mean,
I never
essentially,
knew that. You know what I mean? Like when I was younger, like, and then when I started learning stuff, and I'm just like, yo,
self-education. That's information that's not out there.
the IRS is not as evil as we think it. I mean, it's, but don't get me wrong. There's things out there that we get taxed, but if you're keen to understanding it and you want to learn it, there are benefits out there for all of us.
Every business person should take like a seminar class on taxes. It's information that's out there, but it's not promoted.
Yeah, they don't teach us.
No,
teachers don't make what they should, and they don't understand.
But that's life, man. That's life. That's life. You know, that's life because, you know, you want a job that pays you 52,000 a year, but you have no experience.
Yeah.
Right. Like, how do you know your worth? And then when you actually get the job, you're not built for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's always a complaint of something. You know, you essentially got to get your ass up, get your ass up and work. Nobody wants to work.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to, you know, everybody wants now to work from home, and it is dope.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I've been managing my own business from home for for the last two and a half years, and sometimes I need to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I hear you.
I need to get the fuck out.
So it's the podcast and then it's also clothing as well, right?
So this podcast is brought to you by Dreams by Entertain. It's
plug.
Yeah, it's Dreams by Entertain is a brand in which dreamers inspire other dreamers to obtain their goal, to obtain their dream. It's a lifestyle brand, and where we lift people up. You know, we got a clothing brand that's actually I just shut down the website maintenance, but we got a clothing brand. We branched out and created our real estate brand, House of Lions Real Estate Group. And as a businessman, when I first started, I was like, how do I get my brand out there?
Yeah.
How do I get my brand out there? So the podcast is something I was always wanting to do. So we built another branch.
Yeah. And you can tie it all together.
Exactly. And this is where we're at right now.
To when COVID started, and like right before that, I was in between jobs, and I made an investment at that time too. And it was kind of like just like quick spur of the moment. But I started making clothes. I started making t-shirts. I started making, you know, I was getting to get into the hats and the sweaters and all. And it was mixed world clothing. So both me and my fiance are biracials. We come from different, you know, mixed backgrounds. And we relate on that level where we never really, you know, as the media does it today, and it makes everything about race and color and all that stuff. It's I'd never seen life like that. You know, I mean, my dad is brown, my mom is white. I've always seen things as people. You know, I always had mixed friends. I've always had different groups of friends. If I vibed with you, I vibed with you. We was chilling. So I wanted to shed light on that and bring like more comfortability, include everyone, like everyone included it. You know what I mean? You don't have to be from a mixed background. Like, you know what I mean? You can be from any type of background. I think every background is dope. You know what I mean? I think I'm one of them people that's very comfortable in my environment. I could be in like any type of party. I could be at Caribbean bar, you know what I mean? And jamming, having a good time, feeling it. I could be at an Asian party, you know what I'm saying? And learning more about the culture and being embracing it, you know? So like, I've just always been that type of person where I like unity. I think we should see more unity in the world. I think you know, it's combative to what the main mission is, I think, of controlling us, because controlling us includes separating us, right? So that's one thing I did. So mixed world clothing was the thing I was pushing, and I got out into the streets. I started pushing clothes, was giving, you know, running into like, you know, girls want to promote stuff. I was doing stuff like that. And then I just got a job and I started selling cars, and slowly felt the fire of my ambition of that dwindle into something else, you know? And I was like, you know what? Clothing is not my main priority anymore, but it did teach me a lot. And I can always tie it back in. Like later on, now that I'm developing this, I'm seeing ways like, how can I tie King Nito into mixed world clothing? You know what I mean? And like, I want to also be an ambassador of like self-belief and helping, you know, like you said, dream, inspire, change.
Well, you gotta be like my brand essentially is not a clothing brand, despite what I said, because, you know, obviously, right?
It's like merch.
Not even merch. My brand is a lifestyle brand. Right now I changed it into a network. It's a broadcasting media. Broadcasting and media production company, right? That's why from everything I created, because as you said it early on, as you go, you learn, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has a damn clothing line. Everybody has clothes. So especially me, that I'm not when it comes to fashion and shit like that, I'm not. So once I started doing this, I essentially shifted, and I now created my business, which is broadcasting media and production company, which I have all my other business tied to, right?
Do you do one LLC and you have everything under
umbrella,
like operating as
under umbrella? Umbrella. But the clothing, I should have the clothing, but I don't promote it as much because I don't want to. You know, I make merch and I put it out there. You want to buy, you don't buy. At the end of the day, it's the platform I'm trying to build. It's not for me, it's for you.
Yeah.
Right. To reply to your question about we are being divided. That's simple. You got to take away ego, money, clothes. We got to take everything away so we can be all equal.
Yeah.
But yet, we're
it's classism. That's really what it is.
We became human beings, but initially we were all savages. And as a savages, you always, you know, the alpha, you always want to maintain your how do I say, you want to maintain your presence, your control. So even if you stripped everything away from us, it will still become that. There will still be prejudice and favoritism and the master race. So therefore, you can, all you can do is do the best that you can to you know, to be a better image for tomorrow. You know,
because at the end of the day, if any one of us on this planet is dying and we need a liver transplant, when the liver comes over, I know ain't nobody sitting up on that table going, did the liver come from somebody that looked like me? You know? At the end of the day, man, you know,
Yeah,
It's the
facts.
human race. You know what I mean?
It's facts. It's
Yeah,
facts. I mean,
yeah,
but that's the hustle, right?
yeah, yeah. It
That's
is.
the
It's a hustle.
hustle. We're always racing for
Yeah,
something, and
yeah,
we're really not taking our time and appreciating it.
yeah,
Now, right now, you left one dream to go to basically a 9 to 5, but you're like working for yourself,
mhm,
right? The money's comfortable,
yeah,
but if you would have just gave it 2 or 3 years more,
yeah.
you probably would have making the money you're making now, but working for yourself. See
That's
the
what. That's why I like
yeah,
sales because it's like it gives you that freedom
yeah,
of like as long as I perform, nobody's micromanaging me.
mm-hmm,
I could never go back to a regular job. I could not sit at a desk and have some supervisor playing his dominance over me. I
mm-hmm.
couldn't do it, man. I wouldn't be able to do it, you know? I would be like, oh, this guy gets kicks out of like thinking he's my ruler all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
and it's
like that's what some people live for, sadly, you know?
they don't. I don't think they live for it. I think they just don't know it, right? Like because everybody knocks the 9 to 5, but nine
Yeah.
to five is not the problem. Then your mentality is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're trying to create a business or be a business owner,
You're
how
gonna
do
have
you
to work. Yeah.
how are you going to create it? How are you going to invest in it? Like you got to sacrifice 8 hours a day to go
Mm-hmm.
into a job so you get a paycheck. Then when you come out, probably sacrifice 5 or 6 hours a
Yeah.
night so you can invest in your business and create what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna hand you a check for a certain amount of money to create your dream, your
Mm-hmm.
dream essentially, especially if you have no credibility and nobody
Yeah.
knows you and you just have an idea. This ain't welfare. You ain't
Yeah.
get shit for free. This ain't Shark Tank. You can show
Yeah.
up. You gotta have something.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if you would have taken your brand and invested 5 years of it, you'd probably be big.
Yeah.
It takes time. The
Mm-hmm.
problem is that everybody's showing you when you go on YouTube, right? Yeah, open a Shopify. You can make this how much money in a week, or sell up, make an NFT, and all this. They're giving you want that quick money. It's like
Yeah.
hustling. Everything that's worth is gonna take time.
For sure.
It's not gonna take you a year, 2 years. This is my second year doing this.
Yeah.
I just in January I made my first year doing this.
It might take 5 years. You know what I mean? It might take hey, God's blessing might be this year, might be 3 years, but it could you gotta be willing to go to 5 years too. You
Yeah.
gotta be willing to do the 6 years.
And I'm not looking forward to that. I'm looking forward, like, every episode for me, it's like a documentary of myself
Yeah.
as how I've grown as a person and what my perspective and viewpoints have changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how the people I've met throughout the journey doing this has taught me something,
Yeah,
right? So it's like I look forward to that,
for sure.
and
The journey gotta be fun.
yeah, it
You
does.
got to make it, even though it's not always profitable, and you got to have fun waking up doing it. You know what I mean?
It
That's
becomes
what I.
profitable. That's the thing.
Yeah,
It can become profitable.
yeah. But I'm saying before it does, like when you're
Yeah,
first starting, like this is new for me. Like
yeah,
this is a big investment I made.
yeah.
I'm not tripping because I already know I've stumbled and fallen a few times. I know what it takes in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but when I sit in this chair and I sit down here and I put my green screen up and I feel what it
And you
can
put your
be.
crown on and you drink
Yeah,
that.
when I feel what it can be, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what makes me have a lot of fun. And then I get these moments when I'm streaming. Next thing you know, I got two guys I'm playing with. We start joking and we're laughing, and I talk with I put this persona on when I'm playing. I'm the king, right? So I put this persona on, and I have fun, man, and it makes others have fun. I hear other people have, and they go, "Yo, you know what? What's your Twitch? Let me follow you right now." I got three
Facts.
guys at me right there, and they're talking to me on the chat. We're playing together, and I'm like, "Yo, this can be something right here." And then
What's your game system?
so I just invested in PC. I went all out, man. I got the PC, I got a laptop, I got Series X, and I got a PS5. I'm kind of trying to implement the systems now. I'm really working off PC. I see why people say PC is like the best. It really is. I've been a PC gamer too. I mean, I did stream back in 2016. I started it like low budgetly. I even got some videos on YouTube that I made in Sony movie producer. I actually made some pretty good content when I was looking back. I was like, this wasn't that bad for not knowing nothing. I taught myself how to edit video and everything, and I was like, it's not that bad. And it kind of helped me with what I'm doing now. Because like now I'm like, yo, I can do so much. I can do food reviews. I can, if I'm feeling like building on something else, I can branch it into King Nito,
Now, is PC limited games with games?
No, I mean,
you could play the same
yeah,
games from like Xbox and PlayStation.
Most of them, besides Sony has like those exclusives that everyone really is still trying to catch up to, because Sony does have some great exclusive games like Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Like these games, they're hard to match. These other systems don't have them. And but PC's starting to get them. I think they're on like a time-sensitive contract, and it's starting to get them now. So most of the PlayStation, so got some people passing in, my baby girl too. The PC is getting all those timed exclusives now. So like I don't know. Now there's these big corporation moves now. You got Microsoft buying Bethesda, trying to get their own titles now. So there's a lot of things heating up, man. When I was thinking about college, this is like for a brief moment, I was going to go to college. I was going to go as a graphic designer. I was like, yo, games of the future. I've been gaming since, when we were kids, man. What Nintendo was out. Even when Nintendo came out, bro, like that was like big even back then in the 80s, Yeah. So like this industry it's bigger than movies, music combined. And it's like, it's only getting bigger and bigger. So I'm just like,
I would say, invest in people, right? Invest in people that can assist you create a game, right? Be the investor in that shit. That's something I know I've always wanted to do.
And it's we got a lot of things that I want to do. I was thinking about like even with the clothing, man, like if this thing really takes off, which I feel like it could over time, maybe making like, I was looking on Amazon, and when I was buying my costume and I was buying like the crowns and stuff, and I was looking, they actually have like some fashionable crowns like for kids to wear and stuff like that too, where it's not big and like all out there, but it's a good self-esteem building, you know what I mean? So like, because I know some people, they see the king, they're like the king. Oh, who's he the king of? They think he the king. Like, no, it's like a mentality that you should have about your life. Like, what I mean?
It's a gimmick.
But like it's wrestling. But it's also in a way, we're very blessed. We're very blessed. As much as things are hard worldwide, we're very fortunate to be where we are and being able to do what we're able to do. Look at the technology we're using now. If you said this 100 years ago to people, you know what I mean? You know how crazy it would sound? It's we're just blessed with a lot of things that we take for granted sometimes. And we I could see it, like I was saying, like later on, like, man, maybe little kids wearing crowns, like, just saying like King Nito on the side or whatever, giving them like inspiration, like, hey, I want to do that. I want to do things like that. If you look at all these, there's just so many things we can do, man. And you can't let anybody tell you can't do it. Like I seen the one video when I first started following you, the one guy asked you, he was like, how many people told you don't do the podcast? You know what I mean? And you were like, nah, no one really told me no, but it was the lack of support. You know what I mean? And I understand why people don't support. It's because most people don't have something to believe in for themselves. So when they see you, it's not that they don't want you to do it. I don't know what it is because I don't have that in me. When I see somebody trying to do something,
it's
I
the
want them to do
investment. It's the investment because you don't want to go and be like me. Like I've supported so many people, and they're what they're trying to do and never follow through.
Yeah.
So you don't. A lot of people fear that they don't want to be that person. After I believe in you, you didn't follow through. Yeah. And then there's people that don't know how.
Yeah.
And is that nobody told me no, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yet again, this is gonna be my 70-something episode.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's told me no or yes.
Yeah.
Right. So like I'm still doing my thing. They're watching. But
everybody told Jay-Z no.
Yeah.
Everybody told Jay-Z no. So he said, you know what, I'm gonna make my own label.
Listen, you can't like when it comes to like this and my example for me, I don't look at numbers, I don't look at likes, I don't look at followers.
You can't worry about that.
I just continue to do. I don't like I don't listen to people's opinion. I honestly don't give a fuck. Like that's something I don't, because
if it's constructive and you feel like it's helping you,
not even
that's
not
good.
even
I mean,
that.
I'll take that.
No, not even that.
If someone's trying to tell me no or something like
that,
no,
not even that. Not even that. And they could be right. Not even that. You know why? Because if they would have done, they would have done what I'm doing.
Yeah.
How you could be right? But yet, how do I look at you if you haven't gotten the balls to do what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Right? You didn't put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Like it's sometimes you can say some shit could be humiliating, right? Nobody believes in you.
Yeah.
They didn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, so like I said, they could be right. So right. Right. What they're saying is it's facts. And now, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't find it within me because they didn't take out the time and do it. This is why people invest money and go to seminars with people who actually done something.
Yeah.
That's why they spend the amount of money they do to go watch these people.
Yeah.
If you never do, you can't come talk to me.
Yeah. Like when we get an idea, all of us, right? We get an idea and we start thinking it's a good idea to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody gives their opinion on it, whether it be family or a close friend. I immediately think, I'm like, but wait a minute, like, have you ever done this before? Like,
yeah.
Like, so why are you telling me? Like, you know what I mean? I'm just voicing that, hey, this is what I'm doing. Like the Airbnb thing. Mm-hmm. Starting the Airbnb thing with family, with downsizing, we're trying to make a profitable situation.
Stop.
People
Stop
that
right.
have never done it.
No, don't tell nobody.
No,
don't tell nobody.
But people that never done it before are talking about, oh, that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
But how do you know it's a bad idea? How do you know? Like, you don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Let me hear it from somebody. I'll get the feedback from somebody that's doing it.
Yeah. Everything you do, you knew you're gonna fail at it. You're gonna fail at it.
Yeah. We can't be afraid to fall. That's one thing, man. I'm at this age. I will fall on my face in a whole fucking room, and I'll get up. I'll dust myself off, and I'll keep going, man. Because we gotta fall, man. Sometimes we gotta fall forward. You just gotta keep falling.
But it's like, how are you gonna learn?
Yeah.
How are you gonna learn? At the end of the day, like, you have to live your life with your experience. You can't learn through other people's mind or other experience. You got to go through it yourself to be able to understand. Because I could sit here and tell you 20 million things, but if you haven't got to that certain level of understanding or empathize, right? Or what's the fuck another word? Just have some type of similarity, you're not going to understand what I'm saying. You have to go through it.
Yeah.
And like in a society, where we're going through, there's a lot of fucking people that have a lot of opinions, but that don't have experience in anything.
Yeah.
And that's what's killing us. Because if you had some type of experience, you would have been talking. Mm-hmm. You would have been saying what you're saying. However you said that, I understand what you're saying. You're not wrong. But hey.
I couldn't believe all the bullshit I used to follow on my social media, man. Like stuff I used to just wasn't constructive at all. Like, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I like the joke and I like to laugh and have a good time.
It's entertaining.
But you got to limit it. You got to limit how much bullshit you're watching on a daily basis and how much you're learning. We got to learn every day, man. We got to learn something new. I don't care if I'm an expert in 10 years on something. I'm still willing to learn. You know, like you gotta always from a reputable source, of course. But yeah, man, it's people's brains shut off, man, and then some people just get trapped in this 9 to 5 mentality for forever, and it's like I'm seeing like somebody just somebody becomes, even if you're like on top of your game and he just became a billionaire, or LeBron just became a billionaire, right? Somebody's saying in there, oh, it took him this long to get there.
And still can't.
Like, how much money you got, bro?
Nobody.
Like, what do you got?
Nobody's never gonna give you your props.
Yeah,
they're never gonna give you your props. Never gonna, bro. I'm never gonna give you your props. So you know what you do? You continue to do what you're doing, and you continue to become undeniable.
Yeah.
Anything you become undeniable, that although they're not going to say it, but every time you look at them, they drive themselves crazy because they cannot deny your greatness.
You know what is a good book? Tim Grover. I don't know if you ever heard of him. Relentless. He's Michael Jordan's one of Michael Jordan's coaches that worked with him, and he just wrote the book on Jordan's work ethic and like Kobe's work ethic, and he was like, these guys, like, if they knew you were going to the gym, like, until 5 a.m, like, they had to stay there until 7 a.m.
Facts.
Like, it's crazy, you know?
Facts. 100%. They don't, if you can't document yourself, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know if you watched that, the Kanye West documentary on Netflix.
You listen, man. I don't want to sound crazy because this is media right here. I haven't been watching much TV at all, bro. I got half the friggin' episode of Stranger Things, and then that's it.
Good.
I'm so anything. Like focused. Yeah, I'm focused on.
You didn't miss anything. It's basically like old footage of him coming up, and how everything how he was right now. He's always been that way, and it shows how many people turned his back on him.
Yeah,
that's basically what it is. You become who you keep doing what you're doing. Fuck it, and you become undeniable.
Yeah,
fuck it. They don't love you for as long as they respect you. Make sure when they talk shit about you, your name it. They say it properly.
There's part of me that's like in the corner of this brain somewhere. It's like, yo, you gotta watch The Witcher. You gotta watch this. There's so much shit that I got on my list, and it's like I just can't. I haven't been watching TV, man. It's like,
no, man.
But I ain't been reading either. I gotta get back on my reading, man.
But you hustling. Yeah. You hustling. Every moment's an experience.
We gotta do it for our children, man. We gotta do things to give them what we didn't have, and then also stay focused on teaching them too. You know, it's not just like you said, material. It's definitely not material. It's more about the love in the home, but teaching the hustle, teaching the strive, and how to stay numb to life's ills, man. Because life, if you got a soft core, I mean, don't get me wrong, we all got a heart. I hope we all do. You know what I'm saying? I believe I got a heart, but I got a wall around that shit that you gotta stay numb to when life gets tough, man, because life can break you. If you don't, it's gonna break you, you know?
Yeah, you gotta stop labeling things. There's no such thing as a bad day or a good day, just a fucking day. Keep moving forward. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, like
that self-talk, that negative self-talk, you gotta shut that shit off.
Yeah.
Like, just get that shit out of there.
And like I just get up with my son. I just get up and just go to the park. Let's go live. Then I talk to him and show him things. Right? Like That's living life. It's not. I'm not trying to um sit him down and watch TV all day with. I want to live life. That's life. Let's go jump. Let's go run. Let's go climb something.
Yeah.
That's the life you're supposed to live for. That's life.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people in the pandemic, they really took it as it's a long vacation. Let me sit down. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Most of us saw that opportunity to continue grinding.
Yeah.
And now building something for ourselves.
Yeah. After a month, I started going crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta do shit. I gotta do something.
Yeah, and I mean, live the life that makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's to each his own. You know,
Best memories as a kid, man. Riding bikes, man. Riding bikes through the city with my friends,
Yeah, same
here. Now that I think about it, I wouldn't want my daughter doing that in this crazy world, but it's like it was dangerous back then too.
Yeah. But everything's a risk.
Yeah, everything.
Everything's a risk. Like, but is that going to stop you from living?
Yeah.
Like, growing up, I thought everything like jobs and everything was so secure and they knew everything.
Yeah.
And they don't know shit.
No. Life, it's crazy. But it's so inspiring too, because then you're like, you listen to these like people that are so-called leaders. Like you listen to the craziness that goes on, like the bullshit that they tell us. And it's just like, bro, I'm in control of my shit. Like, let me go out here and shut off all this shit that they're trying to control me with. Mm-hmm. And let me go do what I got to do, And it might not be immediate, the results might not be instant gratification, but it's delayed gratification. Yeah. As long as you striving for that and you're working towards it, it's bound to happen.
It's life, man. It's all how you see it. You can see it beautiful or you can see a tragedy. Like,
yeah,
it's all about, you got to take control of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to choose what you want to eat or what, what you don't want to eat.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, when you hear somebody speak, they're not always going to say everything right. So you pick and choose where you feel that can help you.
Mm-hmm.
And the other, so you throw it out. Yeah. Pick and choose. You can pick and choose who you want to surround yourself with.
You can learn. You can learn from anybody too. You can learn even from somebody that's toxic to you. You can learn something. You can learn that's not behavior that you want.
Or you can be like, oh, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
Bro, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. We gotta do this again.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely down, man. I'm down for the group conversation.
I'm much appreciated for having. I'm working on
you hosting it, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, bro.
I appreciate it. I'm working on some lost episodes. That's a new series I started within the podcast. So just to dive in some topics, right? Have some diversity. So I'm definitely gonna hit you up because you got a lot to say. I enjoy that. Once
as
again,
long as we listening to each other, that's the thing. I listen, but it's here. I got it all.
Listen, it's all fun, man. It's try to understand one another.
Listen, I did have a quick little 16 for you, man. It's like a shout out.
Yeah.
If you want, I'll kick it real quick.
Boom. Let's go.
Now I got the Watcher instrumental. I don't know if you want to pull it up or I can pull it up.
I think you can pull it up.
Yeah. I can pull it up and spit on the same mic. It should sound okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make them balls.
Yes, sir. Nito Wasted.
Boom.
DIOTALK TV. Let's get it. Okay. chilling on the podcast with your boy Dio. It's King Nito with the flow so frio. Every time in the stew, I make stew sofrito. Ready for the strong, I go long with my libido. When it comes to the challenge of throne, they finito. Iso, ay, pobrecito. I must eat though, a beast in the east for sure. This is pure, something stronger, let me know. I'm here to help you believe your dreams. Nothing is the obstacle, all for short Nito. Mr. Gunna make it touch my family, I beat your ass. You had it first, but I had it last. And that's the laugh. Spit enough fire to turn enemies to ash. Want to learn something, then sit down for the class. It's King Nito and Dio. What more could you ask?
Boom. Yo, that shit was fire.
Thank you, sir.
That was fire.
Like I said, it was a shout out to you. Thank you for hosting me, man.
I'm going to clip that up. I'm going to promote that shit. First time everybody spit some bars here.
Yeah, I was like, yo, let me just put something on there. Like I said, back in the day, man, I had notebook after notebook, bro. I used to write. I used to love music.
I respect that, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I shifted the hustle, man. I just took the passion and turned it into something. We're just conduits, man, and we got to put the juice into some type of circuit, man.
Facts. Yo, that was dope. I appreciate that, bro. I love that.
I thought you would like it. I was like, yo, let me put it on there, man.
That's crazy because I've had artists here, and nobody's ever thought about doing that. I feel that, dog. I like that shit. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Tell the people they can find you before we go.
Yeah, so all the tag Nito Wasted on everything. IG, Twitch, SoundCloud. I even got some old tracks on there from back in the day. But Discord, I'm really pushing, as you see, King Nito. I'm really going with this gaming. I love gaming. Deep down in my heart, it's always been a part of me. And I love to incorporate the princess, aka my daughter, into it later on. You know, get her going on here. And you know, if the queen wants to show up every once in a while, maybe she will. She's probably gonna just be like, "It's time to get off." That's all she's gonna say. But you can check me on Twitch. I've been streaming 5 days a week on Twitch. Nito Wasted. It's also on YouTube. Nito Wasted. I'm gonna be working in
subscribe.
YouTube as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys. I'm out.